national anthem by your Sapulpa Chieftains marching band.
I'm a fat guy. Fat man. We got 4 more minutes.
You just got it.
It's a shotgun light, so it should only get stuff like that coming out of like
Oh, yeah. That's a music in the city.
Yes.
I might feel about the
There's a party here.
yeah.
You get any parties on?
Which one?
WAP. It's bad, dude. It is bad. That song, oh my god, it makes me feel dirty. Did it really?
Yeah, it was on my playlist, so I don't listen to that stuff. When it came off my playlist, I was like, oh crap.
That song, all kind of bad. Do not watch that music video.
No, I'm never gonna watch that, man.
Guys are dumb. You guys are music video.
Joining the officials for the coin toss is TTCU Sapulpa Branch Manager Cindy Swift, along with the captain for tonight's game. Tonight's captain for the Sand Springs Sandites is Sango Whitehorn. Tonight's captain for your Sapulpa Chieftains, Kenyon Singman. The head coach for Sand Springs is Bobby Flink, and the head coach for your Sapulpa Chieftains is Robert Borgstead.
Are you trying to control this way, or are you trying to control this way?
I'm the one in front of me.
No, that's not. So,
That's not right.
yeah, this is all about your balance here and balance here. So if you want, you shouldn't be front heavy because you balance it out, right?
Yeah.
Sapulpa wins the toss in the first and second half. Sapulpa will kick off and defend the north goal. Sand Springs will receive and defend the south goal.
It's called artisanal right there. That's what you call that.
One shot.
Yeah.
Hey, Trip, is he on? Why not?
Put the camera straight, maybe we can get a good shot of that. But no.
It's your camera.
Don't Sorry. There we go. Look at that. Still not great. Can you see?
Shooting these little Sandites tonight.
Trying to fuck up too. Very fucked up. Sorry. High schooler, I gotta remember where I'm at. Jeez, not today. How old are you guys? Jeez, you guys. Oh my god, I feel old. Dude, it doesn't get better, man. Trust me, it does not get better.
is brought to you by tonight's Cable to Meet sponsor, TTCU. Life is better in that. Picking up the Chieftains. 21. Take start. Back, he can stand up. Jacob Evans and learns to set.
All right, and welcome back to Sapulpa High School as kicker Dalton Fox kicks it, and Jamon Cisco bobbled the kick for Sand Springs and brings it up to about the 25-yard line. So that's where Sand Springs will take over. First down and 10. Again, just underway here in the first quarter, 11:51. This is our 12-minute quarters. Sand Springs coming out of their base. Looks like their base 3-4. Sand Springs, other teams going to run similar offenses. Sand Springs is going to try to spread you out, but it's going to be a methodical execution spread. 4 wide receiver Sand Springs shotgun formation. Handoff, ball dropped. There was a scramble for it. I believe Sand Springs got back on it as that was quarterback Ty Pennington trying to hand it off to Blake Jones, and they had a miscue on the exchange. And that's one thing that Coach Clinton talked about when I caught up with him is once he has kids with execute because they miss out on spring ball and trying to implement a new system with the first year head coach. So it was a costly mistake there, but they did recover. Here's a snap. Pennington back to throw, wide open over the middle, behind his wide receiver. Again, that was intended for Cisco. We'll bring up third down, 13 to go. Loss of 3 on the miss exchange on the first down play. And hard snap count by Sand Springs. Sapulpa jumped. So they're going to, Sand Springs will get a free 5 yards here. Still going to be third down. It's going to bring up though a 3rd and 8, a little more manageable for Sand Springs.
29-yard line, third down, 8.
Both are still coming out in there 3-4. They said they would time to time give a new look of a 4-2-5 stack, but they have not seen that yet to this point. High snap brought down by Pennington. Wide open is Cisco, and he's got it close to the first down. I don't think he's quite got it as he's up to about the 38-yard line, we'll say. So it'll bring up a 4th and short. Let's see if Sand Springs likes to go for it here because they're just about in that middle ground here. 4th and short, right around the 40-yard line, getting up close to again that midway point was too far for field goal, too close to punt it. Shotgun formation. 3 wide to the right. And play action Jones. Pennington keeps. And he's going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage. So I thought it was going to be 4th and short on that, but they said he got the first down. So that's no gain on the scramble by Ty Pennington on the quarterback draw. It's going to be 2nd down, 10 clock rolling here at 10 minutes 35 seconds. Still no scores. It's the first drive of the game. If you're just joining us on the AM 1550 and FM 99.9, or if you're catching it on the Chieftain video feed. Because here it goes, Pennington up the middle. He's going to pick up, we'll say 4, so to bring up about a 3rd and 6. Takes the ball from about the 40 to the 43-yard line. Still on the Sand Springs side of the 50-yard line. A very nice field here. The SC with the arrow going through it is the logo in the middle of the field. North end zone says Sapulpa. And we'll get to the description of this. Here comes Pennington scrambling. Got a man downfield. That's Cisco. He's got it. Down inside the Sapulpa 20-yard line. He beat his man. That was Esperanza that he got behind. Cisco, and that is one of the key playmakers for Sand Springs that Sapulpa needs to slow down. Coach Klink, he said that's one of the players that he needs to get the ball in the hands. And boy, did they do there in a big way. for about 47-yard gain. Pennington, shotgun, looking to throw. Everybody covered, being chased by Kyle Edmondson of Sapulpa. Drug to the far sideline, which is the east side of the field. It's a minimal gain. It's going to be 2nd down 6. They're going to mark it at the 9. Ball sitting on the right hash. Pennington comes to the line, barking out signals. Not sure if it's an audible or just the play as they're not even huddling. Brings his running back to his left from his right in the split. Play action to Jones. Pennington up the middle, and he's going to be stuffed. So minimal gain again. Clock rolling, 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. So they say gain of 2, 3rd down 4. Sand Springs again comes to the line. Running that spread 4 wide to the left, 2 to the right. Shotgun formation with Jones to the right, and another hard count, and Sapulpa once again bit, which is now going to make it an automatic 1st down because it's under 5 yards. So that'll be 1st and goal from the 2. 8:45 on the first quarter clock. Again, we're at George F. Collins Stadium, the opener, Highway 97 Rivalry, Sapulpa Chieftains and Sand Springs Sandites. Sandites have methodically drove it down the field, but not up tempo, and that's what Coach Klink said. They would try to, when I caught up with him this week, he said that he would try to execute and but not speed the tempo, and doing a great job of that as of right now. And I think we have an equipment issue with Pennington, so the backup quarterback for Sand Springs is now coming in. And that is Brody Rutledge, a sophomore. So Brody Rutledge, a sophomore, this is listed at 6'2", 158. So he'll be in for at least one play while they try to figure out the equipment issue for Pennington. So 2nd down, about a yard to go. Sand Springs shotgun, 4 wide. Hand off to Jones, and he is in for the scamper. Touchdown, Sand Springs, and they take the early lead in this game. So with 7:50 to go in the first quarter, Sand Springs strikes first on the first drive of the game. On a Blake Jones handoff for the 1-yard punch. So on the 10th extra point is Zach Hennon. And the kick is on its way, and it's good. So again, with 7:50 to play in the first quarter, Sand Springs has the early lead, 7-0 over the Sapulpa Chieftains. You're listening to Chieftains football on your ESPN affiliate, the Sports Animal, AM 1550, 99.9. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Oh, is it sounding as bad as is it sounding as bad as it sounds to me? Yeah, I filled in one time last year. First time doing one on my own and having to try to get the stuff from scratch, and not getting lineups until Thursday didn't help. All right, how long we got? It says the bump rolling. All right, so Zach Hennon to kick it off after Sand Springs methodically drove down the field for about a 75-yard touchdown drive. And Tazon Taft, excuse me for a moment, I forgot his last name is I'm just learning these names, so bear with me here. Tazon Taft on the short, off the short kick, gets the return. So a very good field position for Sapulpa starting out. As he brings it up to about the 26. So Sapulpa now, their first drive of the game. Shotgun, 3 trips to the left. Mason on a little dump screen to Taft. Minimal gain, maybe a loss of 1. So 7:30 clock rolling here first quarter. Again, Sand Springs takes the early lead of 7-0, and just noticed there is a hinky on the field as the officials discussed that. I missed that. Just noticed it. So let's see here, going to pause in action to see what this penalty is. It's on the tongue of Sapulpa. It must be on Sand Springs. And now they're walking backwards. So it must be on Sapulpa. And holding is the call, so that'll back it up 10 yards. So now it'll be a 1st and 20 from the 16. Sapulpa again coming out in their spread, trips to the left. Mason is shotgun. Hands it off. And it was Taft on the carry for a gain of 5. So it'll be 2nd down, 14 at the 22. Again, Sapulpa comes out shotgun, trips to the left. Zach Mason. A little dump screen to Arthur Hudgens, and Hudgens pushes it forward for about 2 more, so that for about a yard. So 3rd down, 13. Ball rests on the left hash of the 23-yard line. Sapulpa running a hurry up here. Shotgun formation. Taft coming out of the backfield. Mason coming rolling with him, looking for his wide receiver. It's K-Meyer that was the intended receiver. And a flag on the play as the pass went over his head and out of bounds. So again, a delay here while we check the penalty, and I'll wait for the official's call this time instead of trying to guess. It is defensive pass interference. And that's going to be an automatic first down as well as 15 yards added. So the Chieftains pick up a first down off the pass interference penalty. Ball rests on the Sapulpa 38-yard line. 6:53 to play here in the first quarter. Shotgun, Mason, handoff to Boykin. Boykin, the first time he's touched the ball tonight, and that's one of the playmakers that Coach Bornstadt, catching up with him, pointed out that he's one that's got to step up this year for them to have success and to meet their expectations of making the playoffs again in 5A and hopefully winning 2 or 3 games is what he's hoping to accomplish this year to consider a successful 2020 campaign. Sapulpa now goes 4 wide, to the left, to the right. Mason shotgun, sends Boykin in motion, left to right. And underneath bubble screen to K-Meyer. K-Meyer breaks the tackle. And he's out right at midfield. It's going to be a Sapulpa first down. A gain of 16 on the play. Beautiful design there. Send the running back in motion. Send Boykin in motion. Get the defense fully one way and come with the bubble screen underneath away from the motion. Sapulpa now trying to speed it up. Same formation. 2 wide to the left, 2 wide to the right. Hard count. And they get Sand Springs a jump. And it looks like Landon Hendricks, the right end for Sand Springs, that did on the hard count. So 5-yard penalty is going to put the ball at the 45-yard line. Just under 6 minutes to play, first quarter. Sand Springs has the early lead in this rivalry, 7-0. Mason drops back, pass caught. That's Wyatt Hall on the catch. And he's knocked out of bounds by the Sand Springs defender. So about an 8-yard gain on that little screen play, and it's going to be another Chieftain first down at the 37-yard line. And snap, handoff. No, it was fooled me. Play action to Boykin, and Mason around the left side picks up. See where they mark it. Mark it at the 32, 5-yard gain. Sapulpa again running hurry up here. Spread to the left, to the right. Pretty much both teams run the spread, and that's pretty much all they do. So it's just a matter of whether they're going to hand it off to the left, hand it off to the right, or a power sweep, or if they're just going to throw it out the shotgun spread formation. Boykin comes from right back to Mason's left. Hard count. Nobody jumps. All day for Mason to throw. Can't find anybody downfield. Now he's got a man, and that is Taft on the coverage. On the coverage was Calico, the free safety. And I believe they're going to get him for pass interference, but again, I'll wait for the official word. Yep. So they're going to get Micah Calico of Sand Springs for pass interference as he was trying to defend Taft. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. So they'll take it down to the 17-yard line. As we've approached over halfway here in the first quarter, 5:03 showing on the clock. Sand Springs leads 7-0. Shotgun formation, spread formation, handoff, and I believe that's the fullback. And he's all the way in for a 17-yard touchdown. Connor Rose around left side for the touchdown. So touchdown Chieftains, and they are an extra point away from tying this ball game up. Everybody said Boykin, Taft, and it's Connor Rose who gets the handoff around the left side. He sprints into that south end zone for Pater. And the extra point is blocked. Fox attending the extra point, and it was blocked by Bryson Chase, coming right up the middle. Not sure if that was a misassignment or a low kick, but nonetheless, a blocked extra point holds the score. Sand Springs 7, Sapulpa 6, with 4:55 to play in the first quarter. We'll be right back here on your ESPN affiliate, AM 1550, FM 99.9, the Sports Animal, in 30 seconds.
Sapulpa Public Schools wishes to thank Ascension and St. John, our official sports medicine provider for all districts.
but the extra point was blocked by Bryson Chase of Sand Springs. So the score holds Sand Springs 7, Sapulpa Chieftains 6. 4:55 to play, first quarter. Gaddis's kick sails out of bounds. So of course that's a penalty. The ball will be marked at the 35-yard line. First down, Sand Springs again. Each team drove down, scored on their first drive of the game. The difference is the Chieftains had their extra point blocked by Bryson Chase. So 4:55 play, first quarter. We are again at George F. Collins Stadium for the Highway 97 rivalry, the opener, I believe, in what is called Week 0 for these two teams. Sand Springs comes out shotgun, had a stack to the right, but it's a handoff to Blake Jones, and he stopped for a minimal gain. And he actually did not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. It is a short loss, about a loss of 2. Let's say 2nd and 12, ball resting on the 33-yard line. Sand Springs comes out of the huddle quick. 4 wide, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Jones to the left of Pennington, as Pennington's back in the game after the equipment issue. In motion goes Shoemaker. And Jones on the carry. Short gain, 3rd down 9. Clock rolling, 3:52. First quarter. Here we go to the stack formation, bunch formation to the left here for Sand Springs. Pennington gets the snap, looking to throw, has a man, and he's off target, out of bounds. The intended wideout was Keaton Campbell, but it sails over his head and into the Sand Springs sideline. So that'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation. The Sand Springs uses the same person to kick and punt. So Zach Hennon will be back to punt for Sand Springs. Clock stopped at 3:40. Back to receive for Sapulpa is Tazon Taft. Hennon gets the punt away. It's a high spiral. Chases Taft back to the 20. Gets to 25. Gets a block. Across the 30. 35 still on his feet. And he's out to the 40. So a 20-yard return for Taft. And that's going to set Sapulpa up nice on the 40-yard line. So the Chieftains will have their second drive of the game. As we have a pause here, 3:27 on the game clock in the first quarter. Sapulpa giving their final instructions. Comes straight to the line. Getting the ball resting on the 40 on the Sapulpa 40-yard line after the 20-yard return on the punt return by Taft. Mason shotgun as he's running back to the left, and again that's Rose to the left side, and he's around the corner up to about the 45, so we'll say a 5-yard gain. Sapulpa comes out, 2nd down 6. And then 4 wide to the left, to the right, shotgun. Rose again to the left, gets the handoff up the middle. And he is stopped for no gain. So that'll bring up a 3rd down 6. Ball resting on the 44. And way the timeout on the field as the Chieftain is down. Offensive lineman cannot get a glance at the number. Look at him. We'll keep it right here for just a minute to see how long it's going to take. Sorry, don't have the angle right now to get that number. As soon as he pops up, I'll get you that number. But in the meantime, while they check on the injured Chieftain, let's take a 1 minute break. A 1 minute break.
Injured Chieftain number 62, Brady Stepp.
Also the starting defensive end. So we'll see how long he's out as Sapulpa runs their third down play. Taft takes a big hit but bounces right off of it but goes nowhere off the pass. So the clock rolling now at 2:10. First quarter. Sand Springs 7, Sapulpa 6. After each team scoring their first possession, defense is settled in. Sapulpa got a 3 and out. And that's where we're sitting in the drive, but that drive has stalled as they started at about their own 40-yard line and ended on their own 43-yard line. So midfield position going to waste here, similar to the away on 4th down and 7. Back to punt. And Sand Springs has chosen a timeout. Sand Springs has taken a timeout. Back to punt was Wyatt Hall. Back to return it for Sand Springs is Keaton Campbell. Alright, so let's take a 30-second timeout here. We'll be right back on your Home for Sports, the Sports Animal. Struggling, Obi. Hopefully it'll get better as the year goes on. I just told Keith things: down, distance, and time, and score. That's all I'm trying to focus on. Don't worry about scoring drives or anything like that. Nope, they're back on the field. And welcome back to George F. Collins after the Sand Springs timeout. Sapulpa back to punt. It's Wyatt Hall. Back to receive is Keaton Campbell. And I believe it's partially blocked. Second kick of the night blocked as it's going to take a bounce and a Sapulpa's roll down to about the 40-yard line. So Sand Springs is going to take over about their own 40-yard line. I believe it was not able to catch it partially blocked for Sand Springs, but I believe that was partially blocked with the way it came off the foot. So 1:28 to go here in the first quarter. Sapulpa's going to, Sand Springs will take over. First down on their third drive of the game. They scored their first possession with 3 and out on their second possession. So score holds 7-6. The difference is a blocked extra point. And then Sand Springs leading. Here's the shotgun snap, play action as they had it read. And Pennington keeps. Pennington still penetrating, driving, and he's going to be up near the first down, up around the 50-yard line. I believe he's going to be about a yard short. Pennington faked the handoff. I believe it was going to go to Cisco. but Sapulpa all over it, and Pennington just kept it and ends up with a 9-yard gain. So we're approaching under a minute to play here. And another hard count. Sapulpa jumped, but I guess did not encroach the neutral zone, as that was Edmondson. Again, the injured Chieftain, Brandon Stedham, while he was playing offensive line, because he plays a two-way starter. So trying to catch who's replacing him as Sand Springs takes a snap, and they find a wide open Jamison Cisco for the 51-yard strike. Touchdown Sand Springs with 34 seconds to go in the first quarter. So the deep ball beats Sapulpa this time as Jamison Cisco gets behind the Sapulpa defense. So on to kick the extra point for Sand Springs is Zach Hennon. As right now the score holds 13-6 Sand Springs. As we await the snap. The hold. Hennon's kick is good. So with 34 seconds left to play in the first quarter, Sand Springs off a 51-yard strike leads the Sapulpa Chieftains 14-6 in this, the 94th edition of the Highway 97 Rivalry. We'll be back in 30 seconds right here on Your Home for Sports, your ESPN affiliate, the Sports Animal, AM 1550 and FM 99.9. Thank you. Is that a little better than was the other team? I'm trying to not be too energetic.
Kickoff of the Sandites. Take on Cass, Angelo Mitchell, and Mason Demente.
Real quick to my in-studio producer, Obi Corley. Thank you for hitting all the right buttons this evening as we bring you this Highway 97 rivalry between Sand Springs and Sapulpa. Against Sand Springs just struck on a 51-yard touchdown to Jamison Cisco, and the extra point was good by Hennon. So it's 14-6 Sand Springs, 34 seconds to play first quarter. Hennon to kick it off. Back deep is Taft for Sapulpa. Short kick as they try to keep it out of the hands of Taft. So that's going to be taken up by Chase Carr of Sapulpa. He takes it from about the 20-yard line up to across the 30. So about an 11-yard gain. So Sapulpa is going to have the ball. First down 10 at about the 31-yard line. They're actually going to mark you inside the 30 at the 29-yard line. So first down, ball rests in the 29-yard line of Sapulpa with 28.5 seconds left in the first quarter. Sand Springs leading 14-6. The reason this Sapulpa has 6 is their extra point was blocked. So Sapulpa comes straight to the line of scrimmage. And you go 3 wide, 2 to the left, 1 to the right, shotgun formation. Hand off Boykin. And Boykin gets up across the 30 up to about the 33-yard line. We'll say a gain of 4, and that may be the last play of the quarter as the clock winds down. 15 seconds. They take it down to 10 seconds. They're at the line ready to go, but 3 seconds, they're going to let the clock wind down. So, they did get the snap off. Surprising. Handing off Boykin. And he's up near the 40, up to the 39, so close to the first down. We'll see if they give it to him. And I believe they did give him the first down on that run. So when we begin the second quarter, they will switch sides. It will be first down, Sapulpa. But at the end of the first quarter, Sand Springs 14, Sapulpa Chieftains 6. You're listening to Sapulpa High School football right here on your ESPN affiliate, AM 1550, FM 99.9. D Sports N will back in 1 minute here at George F. Collins Stadium.
And also earned all conference honors in track. She is a member of the National Honor Society and has been on the principal's honor roll for 3 years. She is a 4-year member of both the varsity cross-country team and the varsity soccer team. She is the current Sapulpa High School record holder in the 5K cross-country race. At the conclusion of this season, Stormy is an automatic recipient of the Oklahoma Track and Cross-Country Coaches Association All-State Honors. Sydney Crable is the daughter of Brian and Shelby Crable. She has earned Frontier Conference All-Conference honors for both cross-country and track. She is a 5-time 6A state qualifier. She has finished in the top 10 at the 6A state championship and top 10 in the cross-country meet, Oklahoma Meet a Champion. Sydney has finished in the top 10 of her age group among over 2,000 girls at the prestigious Boulder 10K race. At the conclusion of this season, Sydney is an automatic recipient of Oklahoma Track and Cross-Country Coaches Association All-State Honors. Sydney will continue her running career at the collegiate level. Fans, put your hands together for Stormy Ramsey and Sydney Crable. TCU Federal Credit Union is celebrating 85 years of putting our members first. See the difference at TCU's Sapulpa branch. Ladies and gentlemen, this quarter is proudly brought to you by Synergent. Known for their products that really work and a career that really works. Find out more at Synergent.com.
George F. Collins Stadium. Sapulpa versus Sand Springs, Highway 97 rivalry, 94th edition. Trips to the left. Snap. Pennington fires. Caught by Cisco. And he's going to have it across the 40 up to about the 43-yard line. Garza on the tackle for Sapulpa. Excuse me, Esparza. Ethan Esparza on the tackle. And now before it was a a Sand Springs first down. So first down, ball resting to 44. Sand Springs leading 14-6, trying to add to it. 8:58 clock rolling. Receivers to the left and to the right. We got a flag as the snap is underway. So this play we have false start Sand Springs. 5-yard penalty. First down. Still first down, but now it's 15 yards to go after the 5-yard penalty. False start. Ball now sits on the Sand Springs 39-yard. As the sun begins to set here and the lights are coming on over the stadium. Man in motion. And his handoff to the man in motion. That is Cisco in the handoff. Between him and Jones, as much as they're touching the football, you think I'd have that down by now. Still going to take a brief moment to confirm that. So anyway, loss of 1 ball, second down, 11 to go, Sand Springs. Pennington shotgun his 2 receivers to the left. Now they got a bunch formation to the left. Here's the snap. Pennington looking, and then Boykin in there pretty quick, so Pennington just has to scramble. And a pretty good run as he's up to right around midfield. So about a 7-yard gain. So it's going to make it about 3rd and 4. So a 3rd and 8 coming up after the nice scramble as Boykin coming off his defensive end spot and getting in there pretty quick. Even though he's listed as a linebacker, they run a 4-2-5 stack, so he's kind of that viper or that hybrid linebacker that plays right up on the line of scrimmage and next to the 3-man front. And he was in there pretty all in Pennington's face. No time for Pennington to find anybody. Said he scrambled for 4 or 7. Play action to Jones. Pennington keeps, and it's a host of Chieftains to stop Pennington from no gain. So that's going to bring up 4th down. And again, we're kind of that no man's land on the 50-yard line. 4th down, 4. And looks like the running team is coming on. So it's like Sand Springs is going to play it safe as of right now, unless they have a fake up their sleeves. I would think at this point that they will do that. Try to play field position here with 14. It'll be a one-score game at 14-6. High snap over Heinen's head, giving chase is Edmondson, but Heinen just falls on it inside the Sand Springs 20. So a big turnover, and Sapulpa's got a great field position to get back in this ball game. 6:29 to play, second quarter, and a miss and bad execution on the Sand Springs side of the field. Again, we talked about it at the top of the broadcast. This is Coach Klink's first year as Sand Springs head coach. And with the COVID-19 crisis, which we'll get more on that at halftime as I interviewed Athletics Director Mike Rose. But anyway, due to the COVID-19, they were not able to have spring ball, so they lost some time there trying to implement a new system. But just a bad snap over Heinen's head, and he just falls on it. So Sapulpa's going to have it 1st and 10 with the ball at 20. And we now have a timeout on the field. So let's take it with it. Let's take a 30-second break. A 30-second break as you're listening to Sapulpa Chieftains High School Football on your ESPN affiliate, AM 1550, FM 99.9, right here on the Sports Animal.
Learn more at www.ahc.net. American Heritage Bank. The action.
I mean, that thing was close. I mean, he had no chance to even jump up.
Fans, thank you for coming out to tonight's game. It's great having our Chieftains on the field, and we want to keep it that way. We've reduced our seating capacity in half to allow you to physically distance from others.
do it all in fall camp. That's right. Back. Yeah, we're still in the break. Okay. And welcome back to George F. Collins Stadium as Taft takes the handoff. And he scrambles and runs down for a 10-yard gain. So now another first down. 6:21 to play till half. 14-6 Sand Springs is the handoff. Goes to Taft. Taft is this time stopped for a minimal gain after just picking up 10 yards on the previous carry. So second down, 9. Ball resting tonight, so I guess technically you can call that second and goal. Clock rolling 6 minutes till halftime. Shotgun formation. Hand off to Taft. Taft tripped up again after maybe about a yard, maybe 2. It's going to bring up third down and goal. So they will call it a gain of 1, third and goal from the 8. Just joining us, this is the Highway 97 rivalry between Sapulpa Chieftains and Sand Springs. This is Todd Over, the studio producer back at the Sports Animal 55th floor. It'll be Corley. Appreciate him being here tonight, hitting all the points. As we take the snap, looking downfield, pass is incomplete. It's intended for Colton Morton. So Morton was the intended receiver. The pass from Mason falls incomplete. So now it's fourth down. And I think the field goal unit will come on the field. Let's see Fox, so they are going to want to kick the field goal. Looks like Kay Myers going to be the holder. So Dalton Fox is on to attempt another 25-yard field goal. So we're unable to take advantage of the good field position off the missed execution with the over-the-head snap on the punt. And the kick is blocked! And it's a live ball, and they don't realize that Fox falls on it. So Sand Springs makes up for their missed execution as they get in there and block the kick. And I believe that was, yes, Bryson Chase again. Need to fix some Sapulpa. It's going to have to make some halftime adjustments to figure out how to block that kick because he's now blocked a field goal and he's now blocked he blocked the punt earlier. 5:07 to play second quarter, so not only do you not take advantage of the great field position and get 3 points, you get 0 points. Tough break for Sapulpa as they still trail 14-6 with 5:07 to go. Man, he thought for sure that momentum was going to swing as Sand Springs had that bad snap over the head on the punt, and all for naught as the field goal attempt was blocked. So score holds 14-6 Sand Springs. 5:07 to play. Again, the 94th edition of the Highway 97 rivalry. Sapulpa looking to try to win its second straight after a 31-19 win last year. If you're just joining us on the broadcast, at the top of the broadcast. Until their win last year, they had lost 5 straight from 2014 to 2018 across the So while we have a moment here, we'll again lay out the field. A beautiful facility here on the Sapulpa High School campus. The midfield logo has got the SC for Sapulpa Chieftains going through. North end zone is blue with white lettering. South end zone, same thing. Blue, white lettering. Outline blue, they say Chieftains. Sand Springs comes to the line, shotgun. And in motion, it's Shoemaker. Pennington is shotgun formation, handoff to Jones. Jones to the left. Goes across the formation from right to left. And he's dropped for a minimal gain. So that's going to bring up second down. Ball placed on the 27-yard line. Second down, 7. Pennington getting his signals from the sideline. So is Jones. And then comes the line to mark out the play. Jones to Pennington's left. Again, they're going left to right on the radio dial. Jones of Sand Springs finds a hole on the left side. Big gaping hole on the left side for Jones, and he is across the 40 up to about the 43-yard line. Dominant blocking over there on that left side by those people up front. That was Jacinto Rodriguez, or excuse me, Trevin Corona and Ryan Johnson opening up the hole. Pennington takes a snap under pressure and just flings it out to Blake Jones as a safety blanket, but it drops incomplete. Applying the pressure for Sapulpa appears to be Caden Williams, as well as Diaz. Excuse me, Edmondson. Kyle Edmondson was also applying pressure for Sapulpa. Instead, it went out with an injury earlier, so it looks like Williamson has taken his spot on the defensive line as Sand Springs gets a big gain. Pennington on the keeper. So a big loss earlier. Instead of going out with an injury, try to get you updated as soon as we can. But have not seen him back in the game. So filling in was Chris Williamson, and now moved Evanson to one side and Diaz to the other. And the defensive front, and they're three down, one in front. Shotgun again, handoff Jones, again trying the left side, and this time he stopped for a minute. The first guy to meet him is Christian Diaz of Sapulpa, and then a host of Chieftains finishing off. So that brings up second down, 9. Ball rush on the 42, clock rolling, 3:20. Sand Springs still leads by 1 score. It's 14-6. Sapulpa again had a great opportunity. Had a Sand Springs executed a snap on the punt over its head. They had the ball at the Sand Springs 20-yard line. Had to settle for a field goal attempt that was blocked. And that's where we sit as Sand Springs has drove into Sapulpa territory. Pennington takes snap, fakes it to Jones. Now he's on the left side. He's scrambling. He's up around the first down. And a flag down here on the near side, on the west side of the stadium. On the Sapulpa sideline. In the stadium for a game. Over there in the stadium. 6 back to 37 yards. Officials are conveying. Midfield. As we await the call. And holding is the call, so that's going to back Sand Springs up 10 yards, so that's going to repeat second down. So wipe off the run by Pennington. So now the clock sits at 2:50 to play until halftime. Again, coming up at halftime, we'll hopefully have some scores from around the district that Sapulpa competes in, as well as an interview with the Sapulpa Athletic Director, second-year man Mike Rose. Pennington takes a snap, hands off to Jones, and takes it down to about the 45-yard line. Sapulpa's 45-yard line. So Diaz on the tackle from his nose guard spot. Again, clock rolling, 2:20 to go until halftime. Sand Springs leads this game 14-6. Trying to have a short losing streak in this rivalry, this team trying to be the first team to win the trophy that they play for starting this year. And Mike goes on more details on that after the interview I did with him. As Pennington takes a snap, fights for yardage, gets just across the line of scrimmage for about a 2-yard gain.
On carry, stopped by 4th down 8.
So it's going to bring up 4th down. Ball wrestling just inside the 45-yard line at about the 43.
Timeout. Sapulpa.
And Sapulpa takes their first time out of the half.
This timeout is probably
So we're going to take it with them. With your score, Sand Springs 14, Sapulpa 6. We'll be right back in 30 seconds here at George F. Collins Stadium on your ESPN affiliate, FM 99.9, AM 1550, the Sports Animal. Hey, now I'm learning names. I think I'm getting a little better. No. If I was Sapulpa, I'll probably get one of the names down pretty quick. Also learn by heart for 2 minutes. We'll just be knowing the other team. And welcome back to George F. Collins Stadium on the campus of Sapulpa High School. The 94th edition of the Highway 97 rivalry that features the Sand Springs Sandites and Sapulpa Chieftains. Sand Springs leads 14-6, 1:57 to play until halftime as they face 4th down and 9 from the Sapulpa 42-yard line. They get their final directions from the coach. They come to the line of scrimmage. Pennington shotgun has Jones strictly behind him, kind of like a shotgun I formation, which I guess is the pistol formation. Going deep off the play action. He's got a man behind the secondary. That was Jacob Blevins on the K-Meyer, I believe, was on the coverage, even though there was 3 Sapulpa guys around him. It was just out of his reach. He was behind all 3 of them. K-Meyer, one of the 3 guys there. And they called a break there because that could have been a big play and could have been a dagger here right before halftime. So instead of turning into a 1st down or even a touchdown, Sapulpa's going to take over here, still trailing 14-6, 1:49. So the 2-minute offense is going to be in play here. So let's see if Sapulpa tries to up-tempo a little bit and keep Sand Springs on their heels. As they come to the line, Mason is running back just to the right of him. 4 wide receivers to the each side. Mason back to pass. Can't find anybody. He's being pressured. He's got nowhere to go. He's going to be dropped. He's going to be dropped for a loss for 1, and that was Landon Hendricks, the defensive end, coming up to make the play. Loss of 4. Ball sits on the 38-yard line. Clock ticking. Same formation, 4 wide. 1 tight end, playing kind of the H-back position. Running back sits to the right, that's Rhodes. Mason takes a snap, takes a drop, and he's going to be dropped again. And he is dropped by the defensive end, Sango Whitehorn. Whitehorn drops him for the sack. So a 3-yard loss. Sapulpa moving the wrong direction here as the first 2 plays have gone backwards on quarterback sacks. This one by Whitehorn. And Coach Clute told me earlier in the week when I spoke with him that Whitehorn is the engine that makes this team go. And he's looking for big things from him. And boy, that's a big play from Whitehorn right there, getting the quarterback sacked to bring up a 3rd and long. And to be exact, 3rd and 17. Ball resting on the 35-yard line. As we're nearing halftime, we'll keep it right here. Again, coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at some scores, hopefully, from around the district. I guess the Sapulpa plays in the new district this year, so I'll drop down to 5. As well as call up again with the athletic here at Sapulpa High School in second round. And some great things to say about the athletic program in the city in these 2 years. It's been a difficult crisis in the football season. So, looking forward to that. Looking forward to that interview. As again, due to the COVID crisis, they had to restrict attendance, so it's not a packed house. They did have to weigh things down to try to social distance the crowd, requiring a mask if you are around people as you go through the course. Gave 650 tickets to the Sand Springs side of things. As we're back to action here, Mason takes the handoff, or takes the snap, hands it off to Taft. Taft breaks a tackle. He's out across midfield. He's got the first down. He's down to about the 45-yard line. Tays on Taft with a big run and a big first down. 5'10", 165-pound wide receiver, also a defensive back. But it is a Chieftain first down as we approach under a minute to play. 45 seconds and rolling. Sand Springs leads 14-6, but Chieftains on the move. And as Mason takes a snap, we're going to have a stop, flag down. We're going to have a false start on Sapulpa. So the Sandites had on 3rd and long. Taft just broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage and just broke loose for the big run. With 41 seconds to play. Going to bring up first down 15 after this penalty. Mason scrambles. Got some room. 45-40. And out of bounds. So that will stop the clock at 34.1 seconds. But there's a flag down at midfield. And usually that probably means And I am, again, stand corrected. That is a 15-yard personal foul on Sand Springs. So tackle on 15 yards to the end of the run on the dead ball personal foul. It's going to take the ball down inside the 30-yard line to about the 27. So Sapulpa in business here. They have 2 timeouts, 34 seconds to work with as they try to draw within at least 2 here. Mason going deep. He's got Taft, and it's incomplete. In between 2 defenders, as that was Owens and Chase. Owens and Chase, the 2 corners, kind of in between there and that. Or excuse me, Harrison Chase, the safeties. Mason shotgun. Voids a man. Avoids a host of Sandites, still scrambling around, still looking. Fires wide open. Mitchell, D'Angelo Mitchell. A wide open D'Angelo Mitchell picking up a big first down. 1st and goal, Chieftains. As I was told, the players they want to get in the hand, Taft, Boykin, Kmeyer, and out of nowhere comes Mitchell. Mason, again on the snap, incomplete pass. Broken up by Calico. Could have been possibly pass interference, but no flag on that. And now Sapulpa takes a timeout. We'll keep it right here during this timeout. Again, the 94th edition of Highway Rivalry. I am Tyler Wood, back at the Sports Center studio in the first Louis and Tulsa on 55th floor. We're recording. Pressing on the right buttons for this evening. Appreciate him being along this evening. The 94th edition of this Highway 97 rivalry between the Sapulpa Chieftains and the Sand Springs Sandites. Page High School. As we come back to play here, Sapulpa comes up, spreading out, 4 right, to the left, to the right. Rose to the left of Mason. Mason shot. Takes a snap, looking, and his man fell. It was intended for Taft, and he just slipped on the coverage with Bryson Chase.
Pass is 15 on net. 3rd down. No go.
So 0.2 seconds showing on the clock here, because this will be the last play of the half. 3rd down, 7. Sand Springs leads 14-6. Good chance for the Chieftains to get back in. Mason avoids a sack. Got him in. He throws. Touchdown, Chieftains! Right as he started to scramble, he finds Mitchell in the end zone, wide open on the back line. And the Chieftains have made this a 14-12 game. Or are they going to say he was across the line of scrimmage when he threw the football? That's the question. Was he across the line of scrimmage? He had a wide open lane to run, but then saw Mitchell open. And they will call this an illegal forward pass and call it back. I'm still looking for the signal. And that is exactly what they're going to call. They're going to call an illegal forward pass. Holy moly. Sapulpa having some backbreakers here as they earlier had a missed opportunity as they had the ball inside the 20 after a bad snap by Sand Springs and came away with no points after a blocked field goal. And then right when you think you strike before the half to get the momentum, a penalty of an illegal forward pass calls the touchdown back. So a loss of downs, so 4th down and goal. And there will not be an untimed down. So Sapulpa again comes away with no points in the red zone. So that brings us to halftime. Sand Springs 14. Sapulpa Chieftains 6. We'll be back for the second half. Right here on your ESPN affiliate. Your home for Sapulpa Chieftains football. AM 1550, FM 99.9. The Sports Animal. There will be my clear. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. 5 minutes, because I don't know how halftime is going to be being a TV game. So I'll roll 5 minutes. So you can drag that interview and play that. How long's that interview? By the time he edited it. Okay. So you're going to play 5 minutes. So do 5 minutes. 5-minute commercial break. Play the interview. Then like another 5 minutes, and then I'll come back with scores or something if they're still in the field. Yes. Well, when did you play 5-minute commercial before the interview? Not following the communication.
Please put your hands together for the Sapulpa Chieftains dance scene. The team is coached by Molly Heritage and Jenny Gargano. This year's seniors are Sam Archer, Elizabeth Chapin, Denny Ernst, Paige Jennings, Ashley Johnson, Jalen Martin, Peyton Pepper, Heather Sparks, Chloe Voss, and Morgan Webb. Once again, please welcome your Sapulpa Beans. entertainment time!
My style can't be duplicated or recycled. This chick is a sick individual. That's me, that's a no. This is able to play that sound. Rock the party to the early Please stand up.
Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control.
Talking wire, reading minutes and kick somebody by the waist and throw it in their face like if not, no doubt, this should be automatic.
Okay.
Now entering the field is the Sapulpa High School Chieftain Marching Band led by drum majors Wiley Groves, Bree McKee, and Aubrey Meyer. The Chieftain Band boosters would like to thank our 2020 sponsors. Our premier sponsor is Synergent International. Our three silver sponsors are Bank First, Parkland Roof and Construction, and IMCO Pest Control. We would like to thank these sponsors for their support of the Chieftain Marching Band. Our two halftime sponsors are TGCU and Gigi's Gourmet Popcorn. TGCU has always been a great supporter of Sapulpa Public Schools, and the Chieftain Marching Band is thanking greatly. Gigi's Gourmet Popcorn is located at 12 East Dewey, featuring gourmet popcorn, fudge, nostalgic candy, and soda. Stop by the concession stand and support the band by trying some of Gigi's Gourmet Popcorn today. The Sapulpa Band is proud to present our 2020 marching show, Emerge. Emerge is a very special show designed to feature and celebrate our students. At the beginning of our summer practices, all of our band members answered a series of questions about their 2020 year, their struggles, their joys, their anxieties, and their hopes. We pulled statements from their answers, which have been recorded by our senior band members. Their voices will be added to the show throughout the season. Emerge is about going through hardship and coming out better on the other side. It's about coming together, supporting one another, and lifting each other up in the midst of chaos. It's about acknowledging our struggle, but we can overcome it. It is about perseverance. Most importantly, it's about our kids. Together, we will emerge. The Sapulpa Instrumental Music Department is proud to present drum majors Wiley Groves, Bree McKee, and Aubrey Myers, and the Sapulpa Chieftain Marching Band. Sapulpa Chieftain Marching Band is directed by Whitney Yoakum, Jason Resnicek, and Kevin Mazarka. The color guard is directed by Megan Howerton and Olivia Hill. The band secretary is Shannon Groves. Happy birthday, Coach Zach, from the Sapulpa Boys Basketball Program.
You know, this is like the water from the media. This is the last one. Yeah, it's the last water. Like, there's nothing more to do.
Chieftain Bank. If you're on Instagram and follow Sapulpa Student Council at
No, that's why I said we need like 2 fans and then we'll be good.
Follow Sapulpa Student Council at SATSUCO. SATSTUCO. Spinaches International is a proud sponsor of Sapulpa Chieftain football. Stop by 301 South Main to try the full line of long-lasting products, or visit us at spinaches.com. Now's a great time to refinance your house and save. TTCU Federal Credit Union would love to help you find out if refinancing is right for you.
They're juniors, right?
First night event. We want to meet you where you are on your journey to help inspire and empower you to spend life wisely. Go Chiefs! On the field, and we want to keep it that way. We've reduced our seating capacity in half to allow you to physically distance from others. We appreciate you spreading out and wearing your mask. There are 4 more home games, so let's all do our part. Practice good hygiene habits, maintain 6 feet of distance, and wear a mask when around others.
Starting this for the first time this year. So the winner of this game, of this rivalry game, is going to be able to say they were the first ones to win the Highway 97 sign. I think that's a pretty good, cool deal, but what do I know? So anyway, let's take a look again. As we talked about, Sapulpa has dropped down to 5A, playing in District 4. So we're going to pull up, and these are all courtesy of Squirtle. We're going to try to go around the state here in 5A District 4 first, and see what's going on in the district. So roll through here. And then you can join us right here at 8:15. What game next week is we'll be at the Fortune Park as Sapulpa will travel to take on Edison. Edison is off this week. So it could be an interesting matchup.
Sure. If you don't scan real fast when you're on TV, you know exactly what you're doing, and you don't. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. It's just repetition. What are you doing?
That's what I keep doing.
That's what you work on? Oh, okay.
It's how
The game will take place next Friday night out of Fortune. Friday, September 4th. Kickoff is set for 7. We'll have that right here again for you on your ESPN affiliate, AM 1550, FM 99.9, The Sports Animal. Well, in the meantime, as the teams huddle and come back on the field for their stretches, we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be back to George F. Collins Stadium for the second half right here on your home for sports, The Sports Animal, in about 5 minutes. Yes, they're just now getting on the field to stretch, so I really don't have anything else to wing now because for some reason my app's not pulling up the scores. So how are you? Have we got them all played as far as your max times? It's just whatever now? Or where are you sitting at? Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I can't get this to work, but either none of these teams played this week and we're the only ones playing, or what? Because my app has got nobody pulled up in 5. I mean, my app's only got one single team in 5A District 3. I have not. I just know Score is what mostly everybody uses, and when we do our scoreboard show, that's what Kevin used. So surely there's got to be somebody playing in the district. The thing is, I'm in safety mode on the internet because I've got data. So we have unlimited data. Yeah, at the end of the game, but I'm saying starting Tuesday, we'll be doing Tuesday morning, 9 to 11. Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe never mind then. Forget I said anything. We're getting close, but I hope next week maybe I can write it down enough to, I just didn't think about it this week. I was just trying to focus on getting names and down distance and scoring, writing down scoring. So next week, be able to summarize the driver and how many plays and how many And we welcome you back to George F. Collins Stadium on the campus of Sapulpa High School in the first game of the regular season of the 2020 football season. And it is, again, the Highway 97 rivalry. It is the Sapulpa Chieftains and the Sand Springs Sandites. As we get ready to start the third quarter, Sand Springs has a 14-6 lead. It's been a very, very competitive football game. Almost been everything that we expected out of a rivalry game. Some big plays, some miscues, and then some makeups from miscues. By makeup, Sand Springs botched a punt snap over the punter's head. He fell on it inside the 20-yard line, first down. And Sapulpa had to settle for a field goal attempt that was later blocked. And then again, right before the half on the 2-minute drill, they got down inside the 20, down inside the 10, rather. And on a third down play, Mason scrambled and was right on the line, close to the line of scrimmage, and the officials agreed that he had stepped over the line of scrimmage and caught an illegal forward pass as he threw to a wide open D'Angelo Mitchell in the back of the end zone. So therefore, instead of it being at least 14-12, if not 14-14, we'll never know because we don't know if Coach Borgstad would have went for 2 or not at that point and at that juncture of the game. It still stands 14-6. So like I said, Sapulpa deferred till the second half, so they have chosen to receive the football. So Sand Springs will be kicking right to left on your radio dial. So Sapulpa will be defending the north end zone. And we'll be playing offense left to right on your radio dial. Hennon to kick it off. Back deep is Taft for Sapulpa. Here's the kick. Another short kick to keep it out of Taft's hands. Taken by the up back. And that is again Chase Carr, the up back. Taking it up to the right around midfield, and we got a late flag on the play. So Chase Carr, the up back, with a nice little return. It's going to, right now as it stands, 1st and 10 on the 44, but we have a flag on the play. And it's going to go against the Sandites. Sapulpa gets a 15-yard penalty, unnecessary roughness. So Sapulpa is going to have very good field position to start this first drive of the second half to see if they can get some momentum going here and get back in this ball game. Again, Sapulpa last year won this game 31-19, snapping a 5-game losing streak from 2014 to 2018. So Sapulpa looking to try to make it 2 straight as they went on the road last year, won at Sand Springs, and now they're trying to again be the honorary winner of that Highway 97 sign that will be presented at the conclusion of the game to the winner. that was presented by Representative Mark Lawson of the Sapulpa area with his connections to the Department of Transportation. So Sapulpa, well, I thought they pointed Sand Springs, but it must have been on Sapulpa, so it's going to be first and 10 from the 29. Handoff to Boykin. Boykin takes it up across the 30, across the 35, up to about the 37-yard line. So opening stages, third quarter. Again, Sapulpa deferred to the second half, so they received the opening kickoff, trailing 14-6 to the Sandites. 8-yard gain by Boykin, so that's going to be second down, 2 to go. And we have another injured Chieftain on the field, and it is Boykin. Dante Boykin is down on the field. So one thing you want to do is you want to stay healthy, especially the first game. And so far, the Chieftains have now had 2 people go down with injury. And the way they're working him out, it looks like it may just be a cramp. As like I said, it was hot, as it was upper 90s to open the kickoff. As they try to stretch him out, he's up, he's limping off. Let's hope it's just a cramp, because he's going off on his own power. You have to receive an update on the earlier injury from the staff here at Sapulpa on Brandon Stedham. I am trying to get that as quickly as I can if we're able to get an update. But like I said, if we can't, we can't. So we just know he went on injury and he has not returned as far as I can tell. So here we go, second down, shotgun, handoff to Taft. Taft takes it to the right side, and he's going to be down right around midfield. It's going to be a gain of about 13 yards, and it's a Sapulpa first down. So with 11:22 to go, third quarter, the Sandites lead 14-6. Sapulpa running some hurry up now, trying to speed the tempo and wear this defense out. Handoff, Taft. Taft across the 50, breaks a tackle on a spin. He's to the 40, 35-30, 25-20, and ragged out of bounds by Shoemaker. Or excuse me, Connor Light, I'm sorry. Connor Light on the tackle, but not before he enters deep into Sand Springs, not before Taft enters deep into Sand Springs territory. Again, Taft on the handoff of the hurry up. And here we go inside the 20. So that's going to be a gain of about 3, second down 7. Chieftains have something cooking here on this opening drive. As Boykin goes down with an injury, and Taft is filling in beautifully since Boykin went down. But Taft has had his share of carries in this ballgame. And before the snap even is underway, we have another penalty. This one against the Chieftains. So nothing like a penalty to kill a drive, especially when you've had 2 big runs from from playmaker you're expecting big things from in Tazon Taft, who's listed as a wide receiver and a starting wide receiver, but now due to the injury to Boykin, has moved into the backfield to be running back. So now second down 11, ball rests on the 23-yard line on the right hash. Mason has Taft to his right, handoff Taft, and he's tripped up by defensive end Landon Hendricks. Landon Hendricks makes a tackle, and now some jawing, it looks like, over here on the near sideline, and another late flag. As I was following the action on the left side of the field, and then as we break away, it looked like a Sandite and a Chieftain were jawing, and an umpire and a line judge heard it and threw his flag. And dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness has pointed towards the direction of Sand Springs, and they are marking it forward. So that's penalty. So this personal foul goes against the Sandites of Page. So that's an automatic first down for the Chieftains. Third quarter clock reads 10 minutes, 29 seconds to play. Chieftains trailing the Sand Springs 14-6. Mason comes to the line, and he's going to play from under center. I formation. Did not expect this from the Chieftains. Handoff to Kmeyer. Kmeyer was the deep back on the I formation there, and he's inside the 10-yard line. So Sapulpa, even though they're known to be a spread offense, coming out with a little power I right there, 2 backs, and put Mason under center. So trying to change some things up, find something that works. Again, going power. And again, handoff to, and Boykin back in the game, so it just cramps. And this time, Boykin cannot get the handoff, and he fumbles. So yet another backbreaker for the Chieftains as they had momentum going, and then Mason not able to put the ball in the belly of Boykin, and Sand Springs recovers the football. So Sapulpa, for the most part, is beating themselves. I mean, they trail 14-6, and they've had 3 opportunities inside the 20-yard line and came away with no points. Got to find a way to execute if you're Sapulpa. You've got to execute when you're in what most people call the red zone. Don't know what Coach Borkstadt would call it. Don't know if they call it the blue zone, but nonetheless, inside the 20-yard line, you've got to put it in. And a block kick, a illegal forward pass, and now a turnover keeps them yet off the scoreboard. So Sand Springs comes shotgun. They got 2 receivers to the right, one down here to the left on the near sideline. Jones sits to the right of Pennington. 9:57 on the third quarter clock. And a penalty on the play. And it's a delay of game on Sand Springs. Did not see that coming. So that makes it half the distance to the goal. It's going to be first down 13. Ball sits on the 4-yard line of Sand Springs. So they're playing out of the shadows of their own goalpost here in the south end zone. Pennington rolls out, fires, intended receiver for Sand Springs is Blevins, and it was nowhere near him. It was just down at his feet. Didn't have a chance to make a play on that, but the intended receiver was Blevins. So second down 13, ball rests on the 4-yard line of Sand Springs. So playing out of the shadows of their own end zone after getting a turnover on the misexchange between Mason and Boykin, who's back in after suffering the cramp injury. Or that's what it appears to be. He's back in pretty quick. Pennington looking to throw, now being chased down, and he scrambles, gets out to about the 10-yard line. The first man to meet him for Sapulpa was Connor Rose, who's also a two-way player, plays linebacker as well as running back. He's carried a couple of times on the offensive side of the ball, but was the first man to get to chase Pennington out of the pocket there once he scrambled out. So Pennington barks out the signals to the line, shotgun, spread. They got the H-back with Shoemaker. And Pennington rolls to his right, throws, and should have been picked! In and out of the hands. Intended receiver was Cisco, but was read perfectly by D'Angelo Mitchell, and he just flat out dropped it. So that brings up fourth down. So another what do you say, a misexecute, as that ball was right in Mitchell's hands. But nonetheless, not able to make the play. So 9:38 to play. That brings up fourth down for the Sand Springs. They're going to have to kick it out of their own end zone. Hennon is in punt formation. Tazon Taft back to return. Taft stands on about his own at about the Sand Springs 47-yard line. There's a snap, and it's bobbled and out of the end zone. The Chieftains get a safety. The Chieftains get a safety off another bad play by Sand Springs. Holy cow. So with everything going on, you exactly think Sand Springs could finally have something good happen, and they do. Punt formation, the snap, and it goes in and out of the hands of Heinen and out of the end zone, and that is a safety. So now your new score. Sand Springs 14, Sand Springs 8, 9:35 showing the third quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Right here on your ESPN affiliate, AM 1550 and FM 99.9, the Sports Animal. I wouldn't believe it either if I wasn't here. But something had to go good for him eventually, as many bad breaks that Pulp has had here. Jeez. Jiminy But yeah, first year coach, new system. But I don't think regardless whether you had spring ball or not, there's an excuse for dropping the football on the snap. That has nothing to do with learning a system. I don't think, but who knows? All right. And we welcome you back to George F. Collins Stadium on the campus of Sapulpa High School, where Sapulpa has been battling, trying to get back into this game of 14-6, and Sapulpa finally gave them the Sand Springs finally gave them a gift as another botched snap on a punt, this time in their own end zone, and it goes out of bounds for a safety. So now the free kick, and that comes from the Sand Springs 20-yard line. So 14-8 Sand Springs after the safety. Heinen will be kicking from his own 20-yard line on the free kick. Taft, the deep man. Carr, the up back to the left. And D'Angelo Mitchell, the up man to the right. Over here on the near sideline. They both stand at about the Sapulpa 45-yard line. Taft stands at about the Sapulpa 25-yard line. Here's Heinen's kick. It's end over end. It's going to be taken right about the 25-yard line by Taft. He's up to the 40, 45, 50. He's got a seam. 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Chieftains! What are they going to say? He's short. He's on the far sideline. Hard to tell. I thought he hit the pylon. What an 85-yard return. Not sure on the yardage, but a big return on the free kick there by Taft. They're going to mark him out of bounds. I thought he was in. Tight formation, ball on the 2. Handoff. And he's in the ball carrier is Cameron Mackey. Mackey, a 5'9", 175-pound fullback. And he's stopped behind the line. So Sapulpa needs to stick this in the end zone. And if they do, that gives them the lead. 14-8 Sand Springs. Deep handoff to Connor Rose, and he is stopped at the line. First man to many for Sand Springs. We'll say Webster. Looked like Webster was the first man to meet him as Rose was on the carry. So now 3rd down and goal after the big return on the free kick. Toss to Taft, and Taft is in the end zone. This time it officially is a touchdown, Chieftains. And that now currently makes a score 14-all. We're having it all tonight, folks, but what do you expect? It's a rivalry game. So 8:24 shows on your third quarter clock. The Chieftains finally getting some momentum, and they have tied this ball game up at 14. Fox on to attempt the extra point. He's already had one block tonight. K. Meyer to hold. The snap, the hold, the kick is good. So with 8:24 to play, third quarter, the Chieftains have their first lead of the game, 15-14. You're listening to Sapulpa Chieftains football on your ESPN affiliate, AM 1550, FM 99.9. We'll be back in 30 seconds, right here on your home for sports, the sports animal. I'm not a mathlete, as you can tell. 20. And we welcome you back to George F. Collins Stadium, home of Sapulpa High School, in the 94th edition of the Highway 97 rivalry between the Sapulpa Chieftains and the Sand Springs Sandites. Sapulpa, if you're just joining us, has just taken their first lead of the ball game, 15-14 here in the third quarter with 8:24 to play. And that was set up by a botched punt snap that went out of the end zone for a safety to make it 14-8. The ensuing free kick, Taft got it from the 25, which is why they've been kicking away from him all night. Takes it end over end, got a seam, got all the way down to the 2-yard line of Sand Springs. And on 3rd and goal, Taft finally finished off what he started. So now, Fox to kick it. Or excuse me, not Fox. Wyatt Hall to kick. And it's a pooch kick, going to bounce at about the 30, going to be taken by an up back. That is taken by Campbell, and he is stopped immediately. Campbell dropped immediately, no return. So Sand Springs going to have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line. 8:20 to play, third quarter. Sapulpa has their first lead, as we just said, has their first lead of the game, 15-14. We've had it all. We've had 2 botched punt snaps. We've had an illegal forward pass that wiped off points for Sapulpa. But again, it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. Again, this series dates back to the 1920s. If it's not the longest in the state, it's one of the longest in the state. Sand Springs comes out, spread formation, almost to the high snap, but Pennington able to get up and get it. Hand off to Jones, and he's pushed forward up near the 40-yard line, close to the first down, about a gain of 9. We'll say 2nd and 1 at the 39, with 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. So again, we're under 8 minutes to play, third quarter. Pennington barking out signals under center, so they're not running the shotgun formation. And Jones gets the carry, bounce off some would-be tacklers. He's got a sideline, 35-30, and he's bounced out of bounds at the 30-yard line, knocking him out of bounds. Is Connor Rose, but not before a big gain and into Sapulpa territory down inside the 30-yard line. So Sapulpa had some momentum going right there, but now unable to get a defensive stop, and Sand Springs slowly regaining momentum here as they have 1st and 10 at the 30, trailing 15-14 in the third quarter. Going right to left on your radio dial is Springs. Pennington takes the snap, looking for a man. It is caught. And that is caught by Campbell. Keaton Campbell on the 29-yard reception. 1st and goal to go from the 1. So right when Sapulpa gets their first lead of the game and gets the momentum, Sand Springs strikes with some big plays and gets it right back, facing 1st and goal. 7:17 clock rolling, third quarter. And it's a quarterback sneak by Pennington. Well, big shot by the line, and Sand Springs is in the end zone. It regains the lead. So just like that, the Sandites are back in front, 20-15 with 7:12 to play, third quarter. Heinen on to kick the extra point. Waiting on the snap. There's the hold. The kick. It's a low, but it's to the goal post, and it's good. So your new score was 7:12 to play, third quarter. The Sandites 21, Chieftains 15. We'll be back to George F. Collins Stadium in 30 seconds right here on your ESPN affiliate, AM 1550, FM 99.9, the Sports Animal. Hey, like you said earlier, I had 3 quarters. I think I'm getting better. I'm getting more familiar with the names, and it's rolling. Geez, they really needed a defensive stop right there, though. Golly. That just stinks. We're on. And here's the kick. We're back at George F. Collins Stadium, and it's another pooch kick. And this time it rolls out of bounds. It's going to be, of course, it'll be a penalty. And Sapulpa will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Again, if you're just joining us on this broadcast, this is the 94th edition of the Highway 97 rivalry between Page and Sapulpa. Sand Springs leads the game 21-15, 7-12 showing on the third quarter in this 2020 opener for both teams. Again, it is a non-conference game, but a very important game nonetheless, given the fact that it is bragging rights for Highway 97. The all-time series lead, Sapulpa leads at 45-43. There have been 5 ties. So first down, ball sits on the 44. Mason to K-Meyer. K-Meyer picks up about 6. He's knocked out of bounds. Knocked out of bounds by Whitehorn. Again, Whitehorn is the one player that Coach Klink pointed out when I spoke with him earlier this week that makes this team go. He's the little engine that could, so to speak. Sapulpa comes out shotgun, 2 wide to each side, hand off to Taft. Taft finds a seam, bounces off a tackle inside the 45, down to about the 43-yard line of Sand Springs. 6:35 to go third quarter. Again, Sapulpa had just struck for their first lead of the game, and then Sand Springs answered right back with a touchdown drive of their own to regain the lead, 21-15, 6:30 to play third quarter. Still waiting for an update on Stedham's injury. But meanwhile, for this play gets underway, we got a flag from the line judge from the near sideline. On the press box side, if you're familiar with the Sapulpa Stadium sitting on the west side. It's a false start. Sapulpa is going to back it up 5. That's going to move it to the 43-yard line. Still first down, or excuse me, going to move it to the 48-yard line. First down 15. Again, Sapulpa trails 21-15 with 6:18 to go third quarter. Shotgun. Handoff Taft. Taft a minimal gain. First guy up, it looks like, is Hendricks, followed by a host of Sandites on the tackle. 6 minutes to go. Clock running here in the third quarter. 21-15 Sandites. Mason in the shotgun. Hand off to Taft. Taft to the left side, again spins out of a tackle that was attempted by the linebacker Dudley, Brooks Dudley, but he was able to bounce it, but still got a minimal gain and slowed his momentum up enough for a Sandite to clean him up. Third down, 14 to go. So we approach the 5:20 mark of the third quarter clock. Again, Sapulpa moving left to right on your radio dial. Wide open K-Meyer inside the 35, and they're going to say the ball hit the ground. K-Meyer was wide open. Kenyon K-Meyer was wide open, and the ball just didn't have enough zip on it to get there as he went down to his knees and did all he could, but they said the ball hit the ground first. So an incomplete pass going to bring up fourth down, and again, it's no man's land when they sit on the Sand Springs side of the 50-yard line at the 47-yard line, but again, it looks like they're going to play it safe, play field position, and they're going to punt it away. So on the punt for Sapulpa is Wyatt Hall. And Sapulpa takes a timeout. Their first timeout of the half. Sand Springs again leads the game 21-15 in this, again, the 94th edition of the Highway 97 rivalry, dating back to the 1920s. And it looks like they met twice in '97. Once in the regular season, which Sand Springs won 17-13, and then again in the playoffs, which Sand Springs won handily 42-14. Other than that, it's just been the regular season deal, and again, most recently, 2014 to 2018, Sand Springs had read off 5 straight wins. Sapulpa snapped it last year with a win of 31-19. Looking to make it 2 straight, but have some work to do here, as they trailed 21-15 in the 2020 edition. So the team's still in their instructions as the timeout clock, and still don't have an update, but it does look like Stedham in the south end zone is being carried off on a stretcher for some precautionary measures, but does not look good for Stedham as far as an update. Don't know exactly what's going on, but it does look like he's going off to the stretcher. So anyway, back to the action. Here's the punt. Campbell waving to get away from it. It takes a Sand Springs bounce, and it's downed by Caleb McCarthy. Caleb McCarthy downs it. So you hate it for Stedham if that's the case. Stedham is 6'1", 220 pound. (6'1", 220 pounds, but does not have his classification on here. My apologies. Sand Springs comes with a snap, and out of nowhere, Pennington goes down. The sack is made by Kyle Edmondson of Sapulpa. Kyle Edmondson, a 5'7", 195 defensive end, comes out of nowhere on his left side and wraps up Pennington for a 5-yard loss. So big first down play there for the Sapulpa defense. Second down, 15. Ball rests on the 20-yard line. 4.5 to play in the third quarter clock. Pennington takes a snap. Scrambles to his right. Throws, got a man. Near the first down, but there is, I thought I saw a flag, and I do. Back at the 21-yard line. And the flag is illegal receiver downfield. So an ineligible receiver downfield on Sand Springs is going to back him up 5 more yards. So that's going to repeat second down. Wipe off the catch in the first down. Second down, 20 to go. Ball rests on the 15-yard line, 4:25 showing third quarter clock. Sand Springs comes out, trips to the right. Pennington getting a signal from the sideline. Has Jones to his right as well. One receiver down here to his left. That's Campbell. And now we got another timeout on the field. Timeout Sand Springs, so let's take it with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds right here at George F. Collins Stadium for the Highway 97 Rivalry. Right here on your home for sports, the Sports Animal, your ESPN affiliate, AM 1550, FM 99.9, the Sports Animal. Thank you, sir. Everything sounding okay, volume and everything? Not over blaring or anything? Use my earbud mic, so got it close to my mouth. Welcome back to George F. Collins Stadium. I am Todd Ogle, pressing all the right buttons back at our Tulsa Animal Studio on the 55th floor at 81st and Lewis is Obi Corley. We thank you, Obi, for doing a great job tonight on the first game of the season. And again, 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes to play, third quarter. Sand Springs leads the game 21-15, facing a second down and long from their own 15-yard line. Trips again to the right, and this time we got a false start. And of all players, it's a wide receiver. That, I believe, is Shoemaker, who normally plays the H-back position, but they had him spread out, yes. A versatile tight end, Ryan Shoemaker, tight end, H-back position, was spread out in the middle of the trips, and he jumped. So now, second down, 25. Plenty of things for Sand Springs to work on in practice this week. Pennington, shotgun, stomping back, throws to his safety blanket, Jones, 10, 15, 20, and he's knocked out of bounds by Ethan Esparza. Esparza on the tackle after about a gain of 10. And we have another injury timeout as there's I believe this is a Sandite down on the Sapulpa Chieftains sideline. So keep it here for just a minute. But Sapulpa players are taking a knee. Not sure if that means it's serious or if they just do that regularly. This is my first year covering the program. All right, so while they tend to the injured Sandite, as soon as I'm able to see who that is, we'll bring that to you. But we're going to pause for a minute here. We're going to take a 1-minute break for the injury timeout. You're listening to Highway 97 Rivalry between Sapulpa and Sand Springs, right here in your home for sports, the Sports Area. This is the starting tailback for Sand Springs. He's putting no pressure on his he's almost to the side. They're almost to the sideline, pretty close. And I totally bummed it. I'm sorry. I've been meaning to try to watch for that.
Resuming action. Sand Springs ball, 3rd and 12 on their own 23.
Oh yeah, because we're running a play right now. And we welcome you back to Georgia F. Collins Stadium. Pennington takes a snap, rolls right, picks up a big gain, but due to the penalties, it's not enough for the first down. So it's going to bring up 4th down and 4. So Sapulpa holds. The injured Sandite was the starting running back, Blake Jones. And he was not putting any pressure on his left foot. So something to do with his left foot, left ankle. I don't know if we'll see him back in the game. All right, the punt is hidden. And it's a low snap. And it gets by him again. It's inside the 10. He tries to get it off, and it takes a Sandite bounce. Tapp comes up to try to get it. He bobbled it, but he's able to get control, and he's going to be tackled at the 40. That is the 3rd executed punt on the Sandite side. So special teams will definitely be a focus in practice next week, I do believe, especially in the punting team. That was a low snap, rolled right by Hennon, and down inside the 10, and then he tried to pooch it out of there, and he was able to. got a good roll. So Sapulpa takes over at the Sandite 48-yard line with just under 3 minutes to play. Sapulpa trails 21-15. First down 10. Mason in the shotgun. He's got 4 wide, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. He's got Rose to his left. Tries to sling it out, but it was read and broken up by Hendricks. And now they're trying to say it was a lateral, but I believe it rolled out of bounds. Not sure if that went, and it was a deflection, and because of deflection, it is not considered a lateral. So deflected by Hendricks, it is considered an incomplete pass. Second down 10. The intended receiver was Carlos Rose. Or excuse me, Connor Rose. So second down 10 for the Chieftains. Ball rests on the Sand Springs 48-yard line. 2:46 to play, third quarter clock. Mason on an option. Keeps it himself, and he gets no gain. The first Sandite to meet him was Webster. Webster, the first Sandite to meet him there at the line of scrimmage. Although they're getting credit for a yard. Third down 9, ball rests on the 47. So minimal gain. Clock rolling, 2:15. So again, Chieftains trail 21-15. Mason looking, runs again, picks up about 5. And it's going to be third down and short. I mean, you can just feel maybe the momentum swinging right here as they got good field position at the Sand Springs 48-yard line after another bad snap as it just rolled to the punter Hennon. And fourth down 4, again, no man's land, but the Chieftains again are going to play field position. They're going to look to punt this away. So back to punt is Wyatt Hall, and the punt is blocked. Blocked by who else than Lane Webster. Lane Webster stepping up big tonight, folks, for the Sandites. Lane Webster blocks the Wyatt Hall punt. So just when Sapulpa, you felt like Sapulpa had momentum, getting a 3 and out, had another punt, starts throwing 48. Sand Springs gets a block punt of their own. So both teams going to have some special teams work to do, as Sapulpa's now got a block punt, a blocked field goal, and I believe a blocked extra point tonight as well, if I recall. So special teams has not been the one positive sign from each side tonight. 1:26 to play, third quarter. First down. Sand Springs leading 21-15. Ball sits on the Sapulpa 42-yard line. Pistol formation. Pennington going deep. Has a man. That is Campbell. Just overthrowing as Kenyon, as Kmeyer was the closest man for Sapulpa. So they went for the jugular right there, right after the turnover. What do you call it? Block punt, turnover on downs. Minute 20 to go on the clock, second down. Pennington, high snap, pulls it down though. And there's a tackle in the backfield. The handoff, carry by backup running back Ty E. Atkinson. Ty E. Atkinson on the carry after Blake Jones went out with an ankle injury, and they're still working with him on the sideline. Don't know if you're going to see him back in this ball game. So Ty E. Atkinson is the current running back for Sand Springs. He's thrown for a loss. Third down 11. Pennington takes the snap, looking downfield, over the middle, intended for Cisco, and it's behind him, incomplete. So now Sand Springs in the same situation as Sapulpa just was, facing fourth down and long. 46 seconds to play on the third quarter clock. Do they decide to still go for it on fourth and long, or do they send their punting team out? And Sand Springs is going to like to try to put the hammer down. They're going to line up to go for it here on 4th and 11 from the Sapulpa 43. Pennington takes the snap, looks, throws over the middle. Wide open is Cisco. And it's going to be a Sandite first down. So talk about backbreakers. You force 4th and long, and then you let him in wide open over the middle, Cisco, for the Sandite first down. So now we've approached 39 seconds to play on the third quarter clock. Ball rests on the 27, so a gain of 12. And Sand Springs leading 21-15. Again, trying to put the hammer down and trying to stretch his lead out. Pennington takes the snap, keeps it himself, fighting for yardage, finally wrestled down. The chieftain that wrestled him down appears to be Dante Boykin, the first chieftain to wrestle him down, followed by a host of chieftains. But about a gain of 5, and that should be the last play of the third quarter as it winds down 3, 2, and 1. And that is the end of your third quarter. It will be 2nd down and 4 for Sand Springs when we come back to start the fourth quarter. Sand Springs leading this game 21-15 over your Sapulpa Chieftains. We'll be back in 1 minute on your ESPN affiliate, AM 1550, FM 99.9, The Sports Animal. 1 minute. Oh man, support. We welcome you back to George F. Collins Stadium, home of the Sapulpa Chieftains, on the campus of Sapulpa High School. Highway 97 rivalry, Sapulpa Sand Springs. Sand Springs leads 21-15 as we begin the fourth and final quarter of this game. And if Sand Springs is to execute after converting a 4th and long, this would be the biggest margin of the game. Only if everything else has been within 1 score. I think the biggest lead has been 8 by Sand Springs when they led 14-6. Anyway, handoff to Cisco on the end and around, and ball is loose. The ball is loose. So a scramble for it. And it's waiting for the signal from the officials. They try to get the dog pile out. And it's a Sapulpa recovery. On the recovery, Ethan Esparza. So just when I think Sapulpa can't get a break, they get another one from Sand Springs on the fumble. Jamon Cisco on the end and around, 20 of yardage, but could not hang on to the football. So with 11:48 to play in the fourth quarter, Sapulpa gets another gift. And keeps it at a 1-score game, and again, keeps it at a 6-point game. 21-15 Sand Springs. So forget what I said about the biggest lead of the game if Sand Springs would execute, because they did not execute. But Sapulpa is deep, going right to left on your radio in the south end zone, inside the 5-yard line. Mark it, we'll say the 4-yard line. First down 10. And Sapulpa has elected to take their second timeout of the half. So we'll keep it right here as we just took a break and came back from break. Want to give credit to Obi Corley, who's hitting all the right buttons back in our Tulsa Animal Studios at the 81st and Lewis on the 55th floor. Thank you, Obi, for hanging in there with us this evening. I am Todd Ogle. I will be bringing you Sapulpa Chieftains football for the 2020 season. starting tonight with the Highway 97 Rivalry. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to this point as we need to have a nail biter here as Sand Springs leads 21-15. Sapulpa just got a fumble recovery from Esparza. Nose guard Esparza. Taft on the carry. Brings up second down, 8, ball wrestling the 6. So early stages, fourth quarter, 11:30 and clock rolling. Again, the Chieftains trail the Sandites 21-15. Sapulpa shotgun, got 2 receivers to the right, one down here to the left. Handoff goes again to Taft. Taft out across the 10, say the 11, gain of 5. Bring up third down, 3. And we now have an official's timeout on the field. Don't know really what that's about. As again, the weather we started in the upper 90s at kickoff in Sapulpa. The sun has obviously gone down. The lights are in full swing here on Friday night. And it hasn't, according to what I'm showing, it hasn't deviated much from the 90s. Still showing 95 degrees, it has updated about 86 degrees. So we went from the upper 90s to the mid 80s. Wind now out of the east-southeast at 5 miles per hour, so it's still little to no wind. It's not playing an effect. Here we have another timeout on the field. And a signal first down Sapulpa. First down Sapulpa, ball sits on the 14-yard line. 10:37 to play here in the fourth quarter in the game clock. We're in the fourth quarter. Mason takes the snap, hands it off. And that is, again, Rose on the carry, Connor Rose. Connor Rose is listed as a 5'6", 160-pound junior. And we have a flag down right around where the play ended. So the officials are gathering. We'll see what the call is. 10:27 to play, fourth quarter, the final quarter. Sand Springs trying to cling to a 21-15 lead. Sapulpa has been able to move the football up and down. They just beat themselves in the red zone. They had some gifts handed to them where they started deep in. And they've waved the flag off now. So whatever they were going to call, they had decided to wave it off. We get back to what I say, Sapulpa's been handed some gifts where in the first half they started deep in their own territory. Had to settle for a field goal attempt that was blocked. And then moved methodically down the field, got inside the 10-yard line. And as Mason was scrambling, was right on the cusp of the line of scrimmage, threw it to Angelo Mitchell back in the end zone, and they said that it was an illegal forward pass. So anyway, here we go. Handoff to Taft now. Taft out across the 25, maybe the 26, minimal gain. As I think Sapulpa is just content right now with the way they're running the football. I think it's just content on trying to make this the last drive, even though it's early fourth quarter, 10 minutes to go and counting. But handoffs up the middle and minimal gains. I think they're content. Just trying to play for one possession here. But we'll see how it plays out if they break one. Shotgun Mason. Looking, and pass is intended for Colton Morton. Colton Morton, the intended receiver. Pass is dropped. Harris was the man in coverage, covering Morton for Sand Springs. Caden Harris, the safety. Mason drops back. Nowhere to throw. flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be dropped by Fane, Drake Fane, the linebacker. Drake Fane drops Mason. So that brings up 4th down for the Chieftains. So much for methodically moving the football, picking up first downs, meaning it's the last possession. But so Sapulpa is going to line up in punt formation, and given what Sand Springs has done, as Sapulpa already had one blocked, who knows what to expect on this punt. Wyatt Hall on the punt. Back is Campbell. And the ball is going to be dead just on the other side of the 50 at about the 45-yard line. So Sand Springs will take over the football on their part of the 45-yard line. 8:53 to play, 4th quarter clock. Sapulpa trailing 21-15. Again, if you are joining us and want to follow us all year long, the Chieftains will be playing game number 2 next week. They will be traveling down to Tulsa to play Edison. That will be at Fortune Park as Edison plays their home games at Edison. We'll have a kickoff for you at 7 o'clock.
Man, we appreciate you all coming out tonight. Just a reminder that after the game, protect the safety of all fans and players.
Right here on this same radio dial, AM 1550, FM 99.9, the Sports Animal, your ESPN at home of your ESPN affiliate radio station. Again, back at the 81st in Lewis in the 55th floor, it's Obi Corley pushing all the right buttons for us tonight. Obi, again, appreciate you hanging in there. I am tolerable. We'll be bringing you like I said, we'll be bringing Chieftains football all season long as we play. And I say as long as we play because as most of you all are aware, and if you're not, I don't know where you've been with the COVID-19 crisis. I'm not sure if you're going to play and social distancing and all that. So it just depends on what comes up, I guess, in future positive cases and all that. But at least we've made it to week 0. And we're in the 4th quarter here at George F. Thomas Stadium on the campus of Sapulpa High School. The Sand Springs comes out, takes over 1st and 10, ball in the 47. Pennington sends a man in motion. And that man in motion was Cisco. Campbell wears number 2, Cisco wears 4, and I keep wanting to say the opposite. That's why it takes me a minute to get the name out of the man that was in motion. So 2nd down, 6, ball rests on the 49. Pennington takes the snap, fakes it to Atkinson, and he keeps it himself, and he lunges forward. He's going to have a 1st down for the Sandites. And again, how to describe the uniform, Sapulpa in their home blues, trimmed in white numbers, white pants, blue stripes. Got the blue helmet. It's got the arrow going through the helmet. Sand Springs is in their road whites, black pants, black nipples trimmed in yellow, black helmet, and was unable to exactly find out if it's a Sandite on their helmet or how their helmet is designed. It is a black helmet. Best to describe black helmet, kind of like the Iowa Hawkeyes. And the snap, before the play can officially get underway, we got a flag on the play. And again, Sand Springs is moved, since we have moved to the 4th quarter, as they announce false start on Sand Springs as we've moved into the 4th quarter. Just to remind you, especially if you're just joining us, Sand Springs is moving left to right on your radio dial. Sapulpa moving right to left, defending the south end zone here in the 4th quarter. 7:49 to play. Sand Springs still clinging to that 21-15 lead. So it's been a very competitive ball game. No team has led by more than 8 points. And that was when Sand Springs led 14-6. Sapulpa's had one lead in this game, and that was shortly lived as they had 15-14. Anyway, here's the handoff. And he's dropped behind the line. Atkinson, the ball carrier. Faces 2nd down and 13. 7:10 to go here in the 4th quarter. Clock running. So we're getting near the halfway point of the ball game. Pennington's shotgun. He's got receivers to the left, to the right. Atkinson in the backfield with him. Got an H-back. Fires out to the far sideline. That is caught and then immediately dropped by Taft. So Taft not listed as a defensive starter, but he's in there on the far side as a defense. He also can play defensive back. And he just dropped the receiver in his footsteps as soon as he made the catch. Third down, 11. Ball resting to 43. Pennington takes the high snap, hand off to Atkinson, and a host of Chieftains smelled that out and stop it from the get-go. That might even be a loss of yardage as well. So Sapulpa does what they need to do. They make a stand. They force 4th down and long. Sand Springs resting on the Sapulpa 45. Again, we're sitting at no man's land. They decide to go for it earlier. They lead, however, this time they have the lead, 21-15. And Zach Heinen back to punt. Tazon Taft back to receive the punt. And it's a good end-over-end kick. Taft comes over and gets it. He's got a seam down the sideline. 30, 35, 40, 45, and he's tripped up at the 45. And I'm not sure if he's tripped up as much as lost his footing, but he had a seam where he could have went all the way, folks. But instead, he loses his footing, and he's dropped at the 45-yard line. So, instead of a big return, it's a big return nonetheless, but could have been bigger if he could have kept his feet. And so, with 5:34 to play, under the halfway point, 5:34 to play, fourth quarter, Sapulpa has another opportunity here, trailing 21-15. First down, Sapulpa. Mason, shotgun, has two receivers out to the right. Hand off to Taft. Taft has a little bit of a seam up the middle. It's going to be a pickup of about 3 down to the 48-yard line. So we're going to say second down 7. Well, they actually gave him the 49, so it's a gain of 4, second down 6 on the 49-yard line of Sapulpa. Mason shotgun. Handoffs again to Taft. Taft looking for a seam up the middle. He's got a little bit of a crease, and he pushes the pile forward. Up near the first down marker, we'll say gain of 5, third and short. Ball will sit now on the 44-yard line of Sand Springs. Mason again, shotgun, same type H-back formation. Two receivers out to the right. Handoff goes to Taft, and it's pretty much line up, give it to Taft, see what he can do. Taft has been the only one to touch the football on this drive, and it's a Chieftain first down. Clock rolling 4:25. Again, Sapulpa trails 21-15. As they methodically drive, it's been nothing but Tazon Taft up the middle out of this spread formation. Now Taft gets a break, gets a play action to Rose. Mason around the left side. He's got a seam, and he's going to be dropped out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. So after all the carries of Taft, they put Rose in. They fake it to Rose, and then Mason goes around left side and picks up another Chieftain first down. So first down 10. From the 30. Sapulpa trailing again in the rivalry, 21-15 in the 2020 edition, the 94th edition overall. Mason, handoff to Rose. Rose finds the seam up the middle. Better tackle! 15! 10! 5! Touchdown! Chieftains! With 4 minutes to play. But again, we got a penalty flag on the field at the 15-yard line. Will it stand? And just when you thought the Chieftains had the lead with 4 minutes to go, they get called for a holding. So that's going to back them up 10 yards. That's going to negate the touchdown. So the ball moves back to the 25-yard line, where it'll be second down. Or excuse me, first down, because that was they picked the first down. I guess from the spot, first down and 4. So I guess from the spot, it was 10 yards from the spot of the hold, and so Rose on the carry. 3:45 clock rolling. 21-15. Sand Springs clinging, but Sapulpa starting to threat. Ball rests on the 22. Second and short. Mason shotgun. Taft to his left. Taft handoff, spins out of a tackle by Hendricks. Drops down to the 20. Brings down to the 20-yard line. But it is another Chieftain first down with 3:26 to play on the fourth quarter clock. Handoff. No, fake to Taft. Mason trying to go around the right side, and he's going to be dropped. In on the tackle. Connor Light on the tackle. Connor Light on the tackle. Drops him for a loss. Second down, 13. Ball rests on the 23. Under 3 minutes to go. Again, Sapulpa trailing 21-15. Ball rests on the right hash. Handoff goes to Taft. Taft up the middle. Takes it down inside the 20. Pickup of about, pickup of about 4. Let's say third down 9 from the 19. So Sapulpa, like I said, has just been beating themselves tonight and got called for a holding call on what would have been a go-ahead touchdown. So Mason, empty backfield. H-back set, but 2 receivers to the right, Taft down to the left now. And we got another flag on the play, and it's against Sapulpa. And it's a false start, Sapulpa. So now negate the 4 yards they gained. It's going to be third down, 13 at the 23. So 2:15 to go in your fourth quarter clock. Sand Springs clinging to a 21-15 lead here in the 94th edition of the Highway 97 rivalry between the Sapulpa Chieftains and the Sand Springs Sandites. Mason comes out shotgun. Rose comes out to his right. 4 wide, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Mason looking to throw. We got him in. He's got touch over the middle. And there's a penalty flag. I believe it's going to be pass interference. On the coverage was the free safety, Calico. And I believe he's going to be flagged for interference, hitting him before the ball got there. If it is, that will be an automatic Chieftain first down. On about the 9-yard line. The official didn't have his mic on there for a moment, but it did seem to signal pass interference on the Sandites. But we didn't move the football. So they waved the flag off. Like I say, they didn't have his microphone on for the full explanation. Oh, they did. Okay. So 3rd and 2 from the 12. So they did move it up. Okay. They did enforce the penalty. Taft on the handoff, breaks a tackle in the backfield with a leap, and he takes it down inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 9. So we're approaching crunch time. 2 minutes to go. The Sandites clinging to a 21-15 lead over the Chieftains, but the Chieftains are threatening. 1st and goal from the 9. Clock is running here in the ball, and like I said, this is the ball game. Chieftains only have 1 timeout. Sand Springs has 2, with under 2 minutes to play. Rose gets the handoff, goes to swing right side. He drops the football. There's a scramble for it. And Sand Springs has it. Holy cow. Sapulpa on the drive. Sapulpa on the threat. Rose just drops the football. Sand Springs recovers. And like I said, that pretty much could be the ball game, as the Chieftains only have one timeout remaining in the half with 1:43 showing on the game clock. It's going to be a Sand Springs first down from the 5-yard line, leading 21-15 over the Chieftains. That one-game winning streak that you won last year, 31-19, in jeopardy. As Sand Springs is trying to look to get back on track in this rivalry. They pull within one game overall. Pennington is shotgun. He's got two receivers to the left, running an H-back formation as Shoemaker in the H-back spot. And then, of course, just going to hand it off up the middle. Atkinson on the carry. And the Chieftains have taken their final timeout, so we're going to take it with them. We're going to take a 30-second break. 1:36 showing on your game clock. Sapulpa trails 21-15. We're going to take a 30-second break right here on Your Home for Sports. Your ESPN Radio affiliate. I think they're putting the sports animal. I'll let you. I'll go. Welcome back to George F. Collins Stadium on the campus of Sapulpa High School. 1:36 to play in the fourth quarter. Sapulpa was threatening as they were inside the 20-yard line. Rose went around the corner and just dropped the football. Sand Springs recovered. So the Chieftains now spent their last timeout. It's second down and 6. Ball rests on the 9-yard line. Sand Springs clean 21-15 lead. 1:36 to play in the ball game. So now let's see if Sand Springs mixes up their offense a little bit from their spread, as it looks like Pennington going under center. Now he backs up, checking the signal from the sideline. Atkinson comes to his left, to his right. Hand off to Atkinson. He just drags the pile for as much as he can get and keeps that clock running. And again, the Chieftains can't do anything to stop the clock, so it's rolling. 1:25. Again, 21-15 Sand Springs. Third down, 3. If Sand Springs gets the first down, ball game's over. Unless they have a mishandled snap or something. As we approach the 1-minute mark of the ball game, Pennington back into his shotgun formation. Atkinson to his right. Handoff Atkinson going to the left side, and he's going to be tackled. Brought down by the Chieftain, Connor Rose. Rose on the tackle. And ball's going to be spotted on the 15, but short of the first. So 4th and short. So ball sits on the 15. 4th down, 1 to go. Clock running, 25 seconds. Sand Springs leading this one 21-15. So pretty much what they're doing, it's smart on Coach Klink's part. Burn the clock, call your timeout, and then run it out. And there's your timeout with 8.6 to go. We'll just keep it right here since we just took a break. Sapulpa has had their chances all night long. All night long, Sapulpa's had their chances. You go back to the first half, they had a Sand Springs didn't execute one of 3 punt snaps, and they had to settle for a field goal attempt, and that was blocked. Then right before the half, Mason scrambled, had a wide open lane to just run it into the end zone, but instead opted to throw to a wide open D'Angelo Mitchell in the back of the end zone on the north end. And was called for an illegal forward pass, and that was right before halftime. And then this drive here, and Rose goes around the right side and just drops the football. So 4th down, 1 for the Sandites from their own 15-yard line. They lead 21-15, but this says again that this was a very competitive game, and shouldn't expect anything less than a rivalry game, especially one that's dated back as far as this one has to the 1920s. The biggest lead was 8 points by Sand Springs at 14-6. Other than that, it's been a 6-point game, 1 score all the way through. Pennington just running around off the snap. He's in his own end zone, and a flag is down. Clock is hit zeros. He's tackled in the back of the end zone. Going to be a safety, but it's not going to be enough. Well, we got to see what the penalty is. Good, hold tight. Clock is showing zeros. Flag down, but the flag may not matter. Sand Springs is celebrating, waiting for the official word of this game to be over as the officials converse down inside the 5-yard line. Here comes the call. Holding Sand Springs. Result of the play was a safety. So that's the end of your ball game. Your final score: Sand Springs 21, Sapulpa 17. Sand Springs is your 2020 winner of the Highway 97 Rivalry. We'll be right back in 1 minute. Right here on your home for sports, the Sports Channel, your ESPN radio affiliate, AM 1550, FM 99.9. I just said a minute because I didn't know how much time we need, so we're on.